So, yeah, sure. Tell us again, kind of how did you guys get alerted by this situation?
Well, Jefferson County contacted us. Their emergency dispatch had received a call reporting a shooting on Highway 2 near Fish Creek Road. At that time, A1 Ambulance, Butte Fire Rescue, officers from Butte Silver Bow Law Enforcement, as well as Jefferson County Sheriff's Department and Montana Highway Patrol responded to that area. They were able to locate, Butte Silver Bow officers located an individual who had sustained a gunshot to his shoulder or chest area at the intersection of Fish Creek Road and Highway 2. Jefferson County and the Montana Highway Patrol had arrived first and were farther up the road. They located an individual who had sustained a gunshot to his chin area, a grazing type gunshot. They also, all of the officers got together at the scene with the fire rescue and the ambulance, and they also located a third individual who was deceased at the scene as a result of a gunshot wound to his head.
And from there, what were you able to surmise from how this, what occurred here?
Interviewing the two individuals who survived, it appears that 4 individuals were traveling in one vehicle with the intent to take a ride and possibly do some shooting. Their vehicle got stuck. They all exited the vehicle. After some lengthy period of time trying to get the vehicle out of the situation it was in, they were able to get the vehicle back on the road. At that time, the individual, the suspect in this incident, Mr. Tony Sawyer, apparently, according to the 2 witnesses, began firing at all of the other occupants of the vehicle. And they sustained the injuries I described. One individual was struck in the head and died at the scene. The other individuals, one was injured in the shoulder area, and the third individual sustained a grazing type gunshot to the chin.
Did they indicate what motivated this man to just start shooting?
At this point, we have interviewed both of the survivors of the incident. There is no indication from them what the motive was in this incident. So we're going to continue to conduct extensive interviews with both survivors, as well as process the scene to determine what exactly happened at the scene. But we're very early in this investigation, so right now we don't have a motive, and we're still evaluating the statements. We're also attempting to identify the vehicle that the suspect fled the area in. It is believed to be a 1998 Mitsubishi Mirage that is maroon in color. We cannot confirm the plate on the vehicle. We are working to confirm that, as well as the vehicle identification number. But at this time, it does appear that the suspect has left the area in the Mitsubishi.
And can you explain how he left the crime scene?
Yeah, what he did after the shooting.
Yeah, after the shooting, the suspect took the Chevy Equinox that they'd been traveling in, drove to a residence in Jefferson County. It appears that he then obtained the Mitsubishi at that location and then fled from the area in the Mitsubishi.
And this was a residence of one of the surviving
This
victims?
is the residence of one of the individuals who survived the shooting and who is an acquaintance with the suspect.
So he's the link to the suspect that knew the suspect.
Yes, the individual who sustained the gunshot wound to the shoulder and chest was an acquaintance with the suspect.
And where'd you say the suspect is from again?
From what we can tell, the suspect arrived in our area about 2 days ago from Texas.
And it's unclear whether he arrived here to move or just to visit.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he moved here or he was just staying here for a short time with this acquaintance. Our agency, our department, has no previous dealings with the suspect in this incident.
Had the acquaintance and the suspect been...
He's the only acquaintance, the guy with the gunshot to the shoulder? Or
As
did
far
they
as we
all
can
know
tell,
each other?
the one individual who sustained the injury to the shoulder is the acquaintance of the suspect.
And had the acquaintance and the suspect worked together in Texas?
Yes, I believe they were acquaintances from working together in Texas.
And the people, this whole shooting, how would you just I guess explain to us what right now you all, what police are doing right now as far as.
Well, we're finishing up at the scene, documenting the scene, taking measurements at the scene, so we can reconstruct the incident in the event we need to do that. We'll also conduct additional interviews with the survivors, and then we have a nationwide attempt to locate on the suspect and the vehicle, and we will have an arrest warrant for the suspect shortly.
And what would you tell the public about this man that's out?
Well, if anybody has any information, please contact our department or the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. Jefferson County is assisting in the investigation. If you have occasion to see this individual or this vehicle, please don't approach it. It's obvious that this person is armed and should be considered dangerous.
Was the Mitsubishi his car that was parked at the guy's house?
No, the Mitsubishi is not his vehicle. The suspect had no vehicle when he arrived from Texas, so neither of the vehicles involved in this incident belong to the suspect.
So how did he arrive here? By plane, by bus, by train?
I'm not sure how he arrived here.
And has he, do you know how many shots have been fired at the scene so far, or no?
I don't. We don't have that. I don't have that information yet at this point.
Had they been drinking?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Had they been doing drugs?
I have no reason to believe that there's drugs, but we'll continue with the investigation. It's still early. We're trying to determine what the motive was and what the mental state of all the individuals involved were. So those things will come out as the investigation progresses, but it's a little too early to speculate on a motive or whether or not drugs or alcohol are involved.
This scene where you were investigating last night and this morning, what's it like? Can you describe the area, basically?
It's a pretty remote area. The terrain is pretty rugged, accessible only via four-wheel drive at this point. There's about 6 inches of fresh snow that have fallen since the shooting actually occurred. So that presents a problem to our crime scene investigators as far as locating items of evidence and documenting the scene as it was, with an additional 6 inches of snow on top of the scene.
Last night when you guys responded, so did you guys have to actually, because of the weather conditions, did you have to leave the scene and come back today? Or have you guys been there around the clock since?
Once we arrived at the scene, we remained at the scene, and I believe that we still have officers at the scene right now.
They weren't one of them, but because they.
Did they? Do you know anything about the victims? I mean, are these people you guys deal with, or trouble? Are they ever in trouble?
I haven't looked into the victims as far as their involvement with our department. I did look into the suspect, and we have no prior contacts with the suspect.